At 35,000 feet, a packed Miami to New York flight hums until a scream rips through the air. A black woman, elegantly dressed, sits handcuffed in a cramped galley, blood streaking her defiant face. A smug white flight attendant, clipboard clutched tight, smirks outside. Passengers murmur, baffled. Why is she locked up? The twist hits hard. She's not just a passenger. She's the airline's secret owner. This defeat ignites a war that'll reshape everything. What's her next move? Before we dive in, where are you watching from? If you stand for justice, hit like, subscribe, and buckle up for this wild ride. The Miami to New York flight lifts off with a low rumble, the cabin buzzing with the chatter of passengers settling in for the 3-hour haul. Aisha Carter sits in first class, row 2, seat A, her tailored gray suit hugging her frame like a second skin, the fabric crisp despite the humid Florida air she left behind. At 38, she's a vision of quiet power, her gold hoop earrings catching the soft overhead light, understated but bold. Her short, coiled hair is swept back, accentuating cheekbones that could carve stone. She's not just any passenger. She's the airline's covert owner, a secret she's kept for 2 years since buying the struggling company and turning it into a powerhouse. Today she's incognito, a clipboard of her own tucked in her sleek leather bag, ready to eyeball operations from the inside. The engines hum steady beneath her feet, a rhythm she knows better than anyone, her sharp hazel eyes flicking to the window where the ocean sprawls endless below. She sips a black coffee, the steam curling up, her mind already on the board meeting in New York where she'll greenlight a fleet expansion. This flight's just a pit stop, a chance to see her empire in action. Then the air shifts. A shadow falls over her tray table, sharp and unwelcome. Karen Voss, a wiry flight attendant in her early 40s, storms down the aisle. Her navy uniform starched stiff, her blonde hair yanked into a bun so tight it pulls her pale skin taut. Her thin lips are a slash of pink lipstick, her pale green, eyes narrowed like a hawk spotting a mouse. She's got a clipboard in one hand, a pen in the other, tapping it against the paper with a rhythm that screams, "Control freak." Her heels click hard against the carpeted floor, each step a little declaration of dominance. She's been with the airline 15 years, long enough to think she runs the show, not just serves the drinks. She stops dead at Aisha's seat, her gaze raking over the gray suit, the gold earrings, the coffee cup placed just so. Something flickers in her face, a twitch of suspicion, a curl of contempt. To Karen, Aisha doesn't fit the first-class mold, not the pale pinstriped suits or the loud, flashy tourists she's used to. Aisha's presence grates against the unspoken rules Karen's built her world on, rules about who belongs where, who gets the plush seats and who doesn't. Her nostrils flare, a quick huff of air, and she plants herself square in front of Aisha, blocking the aisle. The light dims as her frame cuts off the overhead glow, her voice slicing through the cabin's gentle hum. "I need to see your boarding pass. Now." It's not a request, it's a command, clipped and cold, laced with an edge that says she's already made up her mind. Aisha doesn't flinch. She sets her coffee down, the move slow and deliberate, her hazel eyes locking onto Karen's with a calm that's almost a weapon. The cabin quiets, a few heads turning, sensing the spark of something brewing. A white guy in a polo shirt 2 rows back lowers his magazine, eyebrows up. A woman in a silk blouse across the aisle adjusts her glasses, peering over the rim. Aisha's lips curve into a faint smile. Not warm, not rattled, just steady. "Of course," she says, her voice smooth as polished steel, and reaches into her suit jacket. Her fingers brush the fabric, pulling out a crisp white boarding pass, the ink sharp, the details flawless. She hands it over, her movements unhurried. Her nails painted a deep burgundy that catches the light. Karen snatches it, her bony fingers curling around the paper like she's claiming evidence. Her eyes flick down, scanning the text. Seat 2A, first class, Aisha Carter. It's legit, no smudges, no tricks, but her brow furrows anyway, her lips twitching into a scowl. She flips the pass over, then back, hunting for a flaw, a reason to keep pushing. There's none. She looks up, her gaze harder now, disbelief etched into every line of her face. "This says first class," she snaps. loud enough for the whole section to hear, her tone turning it into an accusation, not a fact. The guy in the polo shirt shifts, leaning forward. The woman with the glasses frowns, her pen pausing over a crossword. Aisha nods once, her voice still even, unshaken. That's correct. For a split second, Karen freezes, her mind scrambling. This doesn't compute. She'd already pegged Aisha as an interloper, someone who slipped past the gate, not someone who belongs. Not with that calm, not with that suit, not with the way she sits like she owns the damn plane. Which of course she does, but Karen doesn't know that. Not yet. Her fingers tighten around the boarding pass, crumpling the edges, her knuckles whitening. Her mind's a tangle of buzzing thoughts, years of internalized rules clashing with the reality staring her down. She can't let it go. She thrusts the pass back, shoving it into Aisha's hand with a force that jostles the coffee cup, a few drops splashing onto the tray. Her fake smile is tight, trembling at the corners, her voice rising again. Fine. Stay put. For now. She spins on her heel, her clipboard smacking her thigh as she marches off, her bun bobbing with each furious step. Aisha smooths the crumpled pass, sets it beside her coffee and takes a slow sip, her hazel eyes tracking Karen's retreat. The cabin exhales, the tension easing for a heartbeat. The polo shirt guy mutters, "Touchy," and flips his magazine back up. The glasses woman shakes her head, scribbling a word. Aisha adjusts her gold earrings, her mind ticking. She's seen this before, the petty power plays, the assumptions. She's built an empire shrugging them off. But Karen's not done. Halfway down the aisle, she pauses, stealing a glance back, her green eyes glinting with something darker. She ducks into the galley, her clipboard abandoned on the counter, her fingers flexing. Aisha doesn't see it, doesn't hear the low hiss of Karen's breath as she mutters to herself, "Not supposed to be here." The words are a promise, a spark. Aisha leans back, her suit still pristine despite the coffee flecks, her posture perfect. She thinks it's over, a minor scuffle. She's weathered 100 times. She's wrong. Karen re-emerges, her stride sharper now, her face a mask of purpose. She stops at Aisha's seat again, her shadow falling heavier this time. "You know what?" she says, her voice louder, cutting through the hum like a blade. "I don't buy it. You don't look like you belong here." The cabin snaps to attention, every eye on them now. Aisha's smile fades, her hazel eyes narrowing just a fraction. "My ticket says otherwise," she replies, her tone still steady, but there's steel in it now. Karen's smirk twists, her hand darting out. She shoves Aisha, hard, her palm, slamming into Aisha's shoulder. The force rocks Aisha back, her coffee cup tipping, the dark liquid splashing across her gray suit, staining the fabric in jagged streaks. Gasps ripple through first class, the polo shirt guy dropping his magazine, the glasses woman clutching her pen. Aisha's jaw tightens, her hand steadying the cup, but she doesn't yell, doesn't flinch. She stares up at Karen, her hazel eyes burning with a quiet fury. Karen steps back, her smirk widening, oblivious to the storm she's just kicked up. "Oops," she says, her voice dripping with mock apology. Aisha wipes a drop from her sleeve, her mind racing. This isn't just rudeness. It's a line crossed, a gauntlet thrown. She's humiliated, her suit ruined, her dignity chipped at in front of 20 strangers. But she doesn't break. She straightens, her voice low, a vow only she hears. "You'll regret that." Karen turns away, her heels clicking triumphantly, thinking she's won the round. Aisha's hazel eyes follow her, sharp as a blade, her coffee cooling on the tray. The war's just begun. The Miami to New York flight cruises at 35,000 feet, the cabin still buzzing from Karen Voss's shove that left Aisha Carter's gray suit streaked with coffee. Aisha sits in first class, her hazel eyes locked on the window, the ocean a dark smear below. Her gold earrings glint faintly as she brushes a damp spot on her sleeve, her jaw tight, but her posture unbroken. She's the airline's secret owner, a fact burning in her chest, but right now she's just a woman swallowing humiliation. Karen's heels click back into earshot, her wiry frame vibrating with smug energy, her blonde bun pristine despite the chaos she stirred. She stops at Aisha's seat, her pale green eyes glinting with a predator's glee. "I've had enough," she snaps, her voice loud enough to turn every head in first class. "This ticket's fishy. I'm calling it." Aisha's lips part, her voice steady despite the sting. "It's valid. Check it again." Karen doesn't. She waves her clipboard like a scepter, her smirk twisting. "Doesn't matter. I say you're out." The guy in the polo shirt, 2 rows back, leans forward, muttering, "She's got guts." The woman with glasses frowns, whispering, "This is wrong." Aisha's hazel eyes narrow, but before she can counter, Karen spins, barking into her radio. "Back up to first class, now." The cabin tenses, a ripple of unease spreading. What's Karen planning? 2 burly male attendants barrel down the aisle, their navy vests stretched tight over broad chests, their faces blank but their strides heavy. One's got a buzz cut, his knuckles scarred. The other's got a thick neck, his jaw set like concrete. They loom over Aisha, twin shadows blocking the light. "Move to coach," Buzzcut growls, his voice a low rumble. "Now." Aisha holds her ground, her boarding pass still in hand. "I paid for this seat, I'm staying." Thick neck steps closer, his breath hot with coffee and mint. "Lady, you don't get a vote." Karen nods, her smirk widening. "You heard them. Go." The passengers shift, some craning necks, others clutching armrests. Aisha's pulse quickens, but her face stays stone. She's faced worse, built an empire from nothing, but this is personal. Buzzcut grabs her left arm, Thickneck her right, their grips iron. She twists, but they yank her up, her heels scraping the carpet. Gasps erupt, the polo shirt guy dropping his magazine, the glasses woman clutching her crossword. "Hey! Ease! Up!" a voice calls, but it's drowned by Karen's sharp laugh. Aisha's bag tumbles, her clipboard spilling out, but she doesn't flinch. They drag her down the aisle, her suit wrinkling, coffee stains smearing wider. First class blurs past, plush seats and wide-eyed stares, until they hit coach, a wall of noise and tight spaces. The air's thicker here, heavy with sweat and cheap cologne. They shove her into row 15, seat C, next to a window fogged with grime. Her knees jam against the seat ahead, her elbows pinned by armrests. The attendants stomp off, leaving her there, her hazel eyes blazing. Karen lingers at the partition, her clipboard tapping her thigh, her green eyes locked on Aisha. "That's better," she mutters, loud enough to carry. Aisha straightens, smoothing her suit, her mind racing. She's down, not out. But then a new voice cuts in, slurred and rough. "What? Too good for us back here?" Tommy Reed, a heavy-set man in a stained red polo, sprawls across the aisle, in row 14. His face is flushed, his breath reeking of beer, his small eyes glinting with malice. His meaty hand clutches a can, foam dripping onto his jeans. He leans over, his lips curling into a sneer. "Back where you belong, huh?" Before Aisha can blink, he hawks a thick glob of spit, the wet mass landing square on her polished black heel. It glistens, a vile mark, and his buddies, two scruffy guys in trucker hats, snicker like hyenas. The sound grates, a jagged edge in the cramped space. Aisha freezes, just for a heartbeat, her hazel eyes flicking to the spit, then up to Tommy. Her stomach churns, but her face stays ice. She reaches into her bag, pulls out a tissue, and wipes the mess away, her movements slow, precise, like she's erasing him. Tommy's laughter falters, his sneer twitching. "What's that look for?" he slurs, but she doesn't answer. Her gaze locks onto his, cold and unyielding, a silent promise he can't read. She slides her bag under the seat, her fingers brushing her phone. Tommy leans back, muttering, "Stuck up," but his buddies nudge him, grinning. Aisha's not, listening. She unlocks her screen, her burgundy nails tapping fast, texting Jamal Pierce, her lawyer and oldest friend. "First class incident, racist attendant, need you." She hits send, her lips curving into a faint, steely smile. She's been here before, underestimated, pushed down. She always rises. Coach rattles around her, a baby crying 3 rows up, a guy snoring behind. Tommy cracks another beer, the hiss sharp, but Aisha tunes it out. She thinks she's endured the worst, that Jamal's got her back, that this is just a bump. She's wrong. Karen's still at the partition, her green eyes glinting, her mind churning. She saw the phone, the text, the defiance. She's not done. She whispers to herself, "Not on my flight," and slips back to the galley, her heels clicking, a war drum. Aisha leans against the window, the glass cool on her cheek, her hazel eyes tracing the clouds. She's humiliated, dragged, spat on, but her spine's steel. She's plotting. Hey viewers, what do you think? Comment 1 if you're raging at Karen's power trip. 2 if Tommy's the real slime here. Would you have stayed calm like Aisha, or thrown hands? Hit that like button if this injustice burns you up, and subscribe to catch her comeback. This fight's heating up fast. Back in coach, Tommy belches, his buddies chuckling, but Aisha's mind's elsewhere. She's texting Jamal, sure he'll flip this. Across the plane, Karen's plotting too, her smirk a blade sharpening. The attendants flex their fists, ready for round 2. Aisha's bag sits quiet under her seat, her clipboard buried inside, her secret still safe. Or is it? The engines hum, the altitude steady, but the storm's just brewing. Karen's not letting this go, and Tommy's itching for more. Aisha thinks she's got a lifeline, but what happens when the net tightens? How far will Karen push? This before Aisha snaps back? Stick around because this flight's about to hit turbulence you won't believe. The Miami to New York flight drones on, the cabin a pressure cooker after Aisha Carter's forced march to coach. She sits in row 15, seat C, her gray suit wrinkled, coffee stains crusting the fabric, her black heels still damp from Tommy. Reed spit. Her hazel eyes burn, fixed on the grimy window, the clouds a swirling gray beyond. Her phone rests in her lap, the text to Jamal Pierce sent, her lifeline out of this mess. She's the airline's secret owner, a fact she's clutching, like a hidden ace, but right now she's just a woman in a cramped seat, her gold earrings dulled by the dim light. Across the plane, Karen Voss prowls the first-class aisle, her wiry frame taut, her blonde bun gleaming under the soft glow. Her pale green eyes flick back to coach, her smirk a thin slash of triumph. She thinks she's won, shoving Aisha down where she belongs. Tommy sprawls in row 14, his red polo stretched over his gut, his beer can empty, his buddies snoring beside him. The hum of the engines fills the silence, a steady pulse beneath the tension. Aisha adjusts her posture, her spine straight, despite the tight space, her mind ticking. She's waiting for Jamal, her lawyer, her rock. He's up in first class, seat 3B, a sharp-dressed black man in his 40s, his charcoal suit crisp, his broad shoulders squared. His dark eyes catch the light as he scrolls his phone, Aisha's text glowing on the screen. First-class incident, racist attendant, need you. His jaw tightens, a flicker of fury crossing his face. He's known Aisha since college, watched her claw her way up, and this won't stand. He swipes to his camera app, flips it to video, and stands, his 6-foot frame towering over the plush seats. "Hey folks," he says, his voice a deep, steady boom cutting through the cabin chatter. "We've got a problem up here." Heads snap up, the polo shirt guy lowering his magazine, the glasses woman peering over her crossword. Jamal pans the lens, catching Karen mid-stride, her clipboard clutched tight. This flight attendant just dragged a woman out of first class, for no reason, shoved her, humiliated her, and why? Look at her. He swings the camera toward coach, zooming on Aisha. She doesn't flinch, her hazel eyes meeting the lens, her poise unshaken. The live stream kicks off, the view count ticking up fast. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. Comments flood in, a digital roar. "What the hell? That's messed up. Justice now," passengers murmur, some pulling out their own phones, others nodding at Aisha's calm. The polo shirt guy mutters, "She didn't deserve that." The glasses woman whispers, "Good for him." Jamal keeps rolling, his voice rising. "This is racial profiling, plain and simple. We're not letting it slide." The stream hits 50,000 views, a wildfire spreading. Karen freezes, her green eyes darting to Jamal, her smirk faltering for a split second. She clutches her clipboard tighter, her knuckles white, her mind racing. She didn't expect this, didn't expect pushback. The captain's voice crackles, over her radio, clipped and urgent. "Boss, what's going on? Social media's blowing up. Back off." Her face flushes red, her lips twitching, but she nods, her voice tight. "Fine." She stomps to the galley, her heels clicking a retreat, her bun bobbing furiously. Jamal lowers his phone, a faint grin tugging at his lips. He strides to the partition, waving Aisha forward. "Come on back," he calls, loud enough for all to hear. The cabin erupts, a wave of cheers rolling through first class. "Yeah, get her up here," the polo shirt guy shouts. The glasses woman claps, her pen forgotten. Aisha stands, her heels clicking on the coach floor, her gray suit a badge of survival. She grabs her bag, her movements smooth, deliberate, and walks the aisle, her head high. Tommy stirs, his bleary eyes narrowing, but he doesn't dare move. She passes him, her hazel eyes flicking his way, a silent warning. Coach passengers whisper, some nodding approval, others shifting uncomfortably. She steps into first class, the air lighter, the seats wider, and slides back into 2A. The cheers fade, a quiet triumph settling in. Jamal sits, his stream still rolling, the count climbing past 60,000. Aisha smooths her suit, her, coffee stained stark but her dignity intact. She thinks she's won, thinks the tide's turned. Her hazel eyes meet Jamal's, a nod of gratitude passing between them. "Thanks," she murmurs, her voice low, steady. He winks. "Always." She leans back, her gold earrings catching the light again, her mind easing. The captain's order, the public outcry, Jamal's quick move. It's enough, right? She's back where she belongs, her secret still safe, her fight on track. She doesn't see Karen in the galley, her wiry frame hunched over the counter, her green eyes glinting with venom. Karen's not done, not by a long shot. She saw the cheers, the stream, the defiance, and it's a slap she won't take lying down. Her fingers flex, her mind churning. She spots a silver necklace on a tray table in first class, left by a sleeping woman in a velvet blazer, diamonds dripping from her ears. A twisted spark ignites in Karen's brain. She moves like a shadow, her smirk creeping back, darker now. She snatches the necklace, the cold stones biting her palm, and slips it into her pocket. She glances at Tommy, still slumped in coach, his red polo a blotch in the dim light. She catches his eye, a quick nod passing between them. He grins, slow and mean, understanding her game. Karen strides back to Aisha's seat, her heels silent now, her face a mask of fake calm. "Routine check," she says, her voice low, dripping, with syrupy politeness. Aisha's hazel eyes narrow, a flicker of suspicion crossing her face. But she nods, sliding her bag out. Karen's hand darts in, quick as a snake, tucking the necklace beneath Aisha's clipboard, her fingers brushing. The leather. She steps back, dusting her hands like she's finished a chore. "All good," she lies, her smirk hidden behind tight lips. Aisha slides the bag back, her mind still on the cheers, the stream, the win. She doesn't feel the weight, doesn't see the trap. Karen turns away, her green eyes glinting, her bun steady as she walks off. Jamal's stream hums in his hand, the views ticking up. 70,000 now. Aisha adjusts her earrings, her coffee cold on the tray. She thinks she's safe, thinks the storm's past. She's wrong. Karen's in the galley again, whispering to herself, "Not over yet." She radios the attendants, her voice a hiss. "Keep an eye on 2A." Buzzcut and Thickneck nod from the back, their fists flexing. Tommy cracks his knuckles in coach, his grin widening. Aisha leans back, her hazel eyes on the clouds, her phone buzzing with Jamal's updates. She's savoring the moment, the brief taste of justice. It's a mirage. The necklace sits quiet in her bag, a bomb she doesn't know she's carrying. Karen's smirk grows, her mind a furnace of spite. The flight's halfway done, the altitude steady, but the real descent's coming. Aisha's victory's a thread, and Karen's about to snap it. The Miami to New York flight sails through the night, the cabin lights dimmed, the hum of the engines a steady drone at 35,000 feet. Aisha Carter sits in first class, seat 2A, her gray suit still bearing coffee stains, her gold earrings glinting faintly as she adjusts her posture. Her hazel eyes trace the clouds beyond the window, her mind settling into the fragile wind Jamal Pierce secured with his live stream, now at 70,000 views. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth she's holding close, but right. Now she's savoring the return to her rightful place, her bag tucked under the seat. The necklace Karen Voss slipped inside, lying silent like a coiled snake. Across the aisle, Jamal leans back in 3B, his charcoal suit crisp, his dark eyes on his phone, the stream still rolling. The polo shirt guy flips his magazine, muttering approval, while the glasses woman scribbles her crossword, nodding at Aisha's calm. The cabin feels lighter, the tension from coach a fading echo. But Karen's not fading. She strides out of the galley, her wiry frame buzzing with fury, her blonde bun tight, her pale green eyes locked on Aisha. Her navy uniform's starched edges cut the air, her heels clicking a war beat. She's lost the first round, humiliated. By the captain's order, the cheers, the stream, and it's a wound she won't let heal. Her hand brushes her pocket, the memory of the necklace a spark in her brain. She stops mid-aisle, her voice slicing through the quiet like a gunshot. "We've got a thief up here." Heads snap up, the polo shirt guy dropping his magazine, the glasses woman gasping, her pen clattering. Aisha's hazel eyes flick to Karen, a jolt of suspicion tightening her chest. "What's this about?" she asks, her voice steady but sharp. Karen's smirk twists, her finger jabbing toward Aisha. "You stole a necklace. I saw it." She yanks Aisha's bag from under the seat, her bony fingers ripping it open. The silver chain glints under the cabin lights, dangling from her hand like a trophy. Gasps ripple through first class, a woman in a velvet blazer clutching her wrist whispering, "That's mine!" Jamal bolts upright, his phone shaking, the stream jumping to 80,000. "That's a lie!" he booms, but Karen's already moving. She radios the attendants, her voice loud, deliberate. "Security breach, 2A, cuff her." Buzzcut and Thickneck charge in, their navy vests taut, their faces blank masks of muscle. Buzzcut grabs Aisha's arm, his scarred knuckles digging in, while Thickneck snaps cuffs around her wrists, the cold metal biting her skin. Her suit bunches up, her heels scrape the floor as they yank her out of the seat. "This is insane," she snaps, twisting against their grip, but they don't flinch. Passengers boo, the polo shirt guy shouting, "Let her go." The glasses woman clutches her crossword, muttering, "This can't be right." Jamal's stream surges, 90,000 now, comments exploding. "Set up. She's innocent." But Karen's lie holds. She strides behind, her clipboard smacking her thigh, her green eyes glinting with glee. "Coach wasn't enough," she hisses, low enough for only Aisha to hear. They drag her past the partition, the plush seats of first class blurring into the cramped chaos of coach. Tommy Reed stirs, his red polo stretched tight, his bleary eyes lighting up. "Thief!" he bellows, his voice slurred but vicious, his buddies snickering awake. The word spreads, a poison seeping through the rows. A woman with a baby clutches, her bag, a guy in a hoodie glares. Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her jaw tight, but she doesn't scream. They shove her into the galley, a narrow space of steel counters and flickering lights. Thickneck slams the door, the clang echoing, while Buzzcut locks it, his buzzed head gleaming with sweat. Aisha stumbles, her cuffed hands catching the counter, her suit tearing at the elbow. Blood trickles from a scrape on her wrist, staining the gray fabric darker. She straightens, her breath steady despite the sting, her mind racing. She's shackled, locked away, her dignity shredded in front of 100 strangers. Jamal's stream can't reach her here, the signal blocked by the galley walls. She thinks it's over, thinks Karen's won this round. The captain's voice crackles over the radio, hesitant but firm. "Voss, what's the situation?" Karen leans in, her voice smooth, professional, a lie wrapped in calm. "Passenger 2A stole jewelry. She's secured. Alert security for landing." The captain pauses, then grunts. Copy that. Aisha's stomach drops, her hazel eyes tracing the locked door. She's trapped, her ownership still hidden, her fight buried under Karen's venom. Outside, Karen leans against the counter, her smirk a mask of triumph, her chest swelling with glee. She watches through the small galley window, Aisha's silhouette stiff but unbroken. Thought you could play me, she mutters, her green eyes narrowing. The attendants stand guard, Buzzcut cracking his knuckles, thick neck flexing his jaw. In coach, Tommy slumps back, chuckling. Serves her right. His buddies nod, cracking fresh beers, the cans hissing. First class buzzes, passengers whispering, some filming, others shaking heads. The polo shirt guy mutters, "This is bull." The glasses woman frowns. They planted it. Jamal's stream hits 100,000, his voice booming through the lens. This is a frame-up. We're not stopping. But the captain swayed, the radio silent now. Aisha sits on a steel stool, her cuffed hands in her lap, her gold earrings catching the flickering light. Her bag's back in first class, the necklace a noose she didn't see coming. She thinks of Jamal, the stream, the truth, but it's out of reach. Her hazel eyes burn, her mind sharpening. She's been here before, cornered, underestimated. She's built an empire from worse. But this feels different, heavier, a trap tightening. Karen's not just petty, she's ruthless, and Aisha's secret's still safe, but for how long? The galley's air is stale, the hum of the engines vibrating through the walls. She hears muffled boos from first class, Tommy's laughter from coach, but it's distant, a world she's cut off from. Her suit's torn, her wrists raw, her coffee stains a map of the fight so far. She thinks of the landing, security waiting, her name smeared. She's humiliated, locked up, but not broken. Her hazel eyes flick to the door, her breath steadying. She's plotting, always plotting. Karen steps back, her smirk widening, her radio buzzing with static. She thinks she's buried Aisha, thinks the stream's just noise. She radios again, her voice a hiss. Make sure security's ready. She's not walking off easy. Buzzcut nods, thick-neck grunts. Tommy belches in coach, his grin a mirror of Karen's. The flight's an hour from New York, the descent looming, but the real crash is here, in this galley. Aisha's cuffed hands flex, her mind a steel trap. She thinks it's the bottom, thinks she'll claw out. She's wrong. Karen's smirk grows, her green eyes glinting with a darker plan. The necklace was just the start, a spark for a bigger fire. The plane hums on, the altitude steady, but the storm's raging, and Aisha's in its eye. The Miami to New York flight jolts as it touches down at JFK, the cabin lights flickering, the engines winding down from their steady roar. Aisha Carter sits shackled in the galley, her gray suit torn at the elbow, coffee stains crusting the fabric, blood drying on her wrist where the cuffs bite. Her hazel eyes burn through the dimness, her gold earrings glinting under the flickering bulb. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth locked tight in her chest. But right now she's a prisoner, framed for theft by Karen Voss's vicious lie. The galley door clangs open, Buzzcut and Thickneck looming in their navy vests, their faces blank but their hands rough. They yank her up, her heels scraping the steel floor, her cuffed arms twisting. Karen stands outside, her wiry frame buzzing, her blonde bun slick with sweat, her pale green eyes glinting with triumph. Time to go, she snaps, her smirk a blade twisting in Aisha's gut. The plane's doors hiss wide, the jetway a tunnel of cold air. Passengers spill out, some filming, others shouting, "Let her go!" Jamal Pierce's live stream, cut off in the galley, flickers back to life in his hands, the count soaring past 100,000. He's shoving through first class, his charcoal suit rumpled, his dark eyes blazing. "This isn't over," he yells, but the attendants block him, Thickneck slamming a fist into his shoulder. Aisha stumbles down the jetway, her breath sharp, her mind racing. She thinks security will see the truth, thinks her ownership will surface. She's wrong. A hulking figure waits at the gate, Vince Russo, ground supervisor, 6'4" of muscle and menace, his shaved head gleaming under the terminal lights. His tan uniform stretches tight, a badge pinned crooked, his scarred cheek twitching as he grins. He's ex-military, a brute with a rap sheet scrubbed clean by connections, and he's Karen's ace. His meaty hand clamps Aisha's arm, his grip, a vice, yanking her off the jetway. "Got a live one," he growls, his voice a gravel pit laced with venom. He slams her against a concrete wall, her cheek grinding into the grit, her suit ripping at the shoulder. Pain flares, but she doesn't scream, her hazel eyes narrowing. "This is a mistake," she hisses, her voice steel despite the sting. Vince laughs, a guttural bark, his breath hot with tobacco. "Mistake's yours, sweetheart." He digs into her bag, his thick fingers pulling out a rusty pocket knife, the blade dulled but sharp enough. He holds it up, the metal catching the light, and tosses it back in. "Armed and dangerous," he announces, loud enough for the gathering crowd to hear. Gasps ripple, phones flash, but Vince's lie lands hard. Airport police swarm, 6 of them in black vests, guns drawn, radios crackling. "Step back," one barks, a wiry cop with a buzz cut, his eyes cold. Aisha twists, her cuffed hands flexing, but Vince shoves her again, the wall bruising her ribs. She stole on the flight, resisted arrest. Now this, he lies, his scarred, cheek twitching with glee. Karen strides up, her clipboard abandoned, her green eyes locked on Aisha. "I warned you," she mutters, her smirk a mirror of Vince's. The police don't question it, their boots stomping as they form a wall around her. Jamal breaks through the jetway, his phone shaking, the stream hitting 150,000. "It's planted," he roars, but a cop snatches his device, smashing it against the floor, the screen shattering. The crowd gasps, some shoving forward, others retreating, their shouts a chaotic hum. "She's innocent!" "Check the bag!" Aisha's hazel eyes dart, her mind a steel trap. She's bloodied, cornered, her secret teetering. Online, whispers of her ownership leak, a comment flashing. "She owns the airline?" Vince snorts, kicking her bag across the floor. Papers, spilling. "Bull, she's nothing." The police cuff her tighter, the metal cutting deeper, blood trickling onto her torn suit. They drag her through the terminal, her heels scraping, her gold earrings swaying with each jolt. Passengers film, their voices a frail shield, but Vince's crew moves fast. A burly cop slams a woman's phone down, glass crunching. Another shoves a man back, his fist clenched. Aisha's hauled to a holding cell, a dank concrete box with a rusted bench and a flickering bulb. The door slams, the clang a gunshot in her ears. She stumbles, her cuffed hands catching the wall, her breath ragged. Blood smears her cheek, her suit a shredded badge of survival. She sits, her hazel eyes tracing the cracks, her mind clawing back. She's the lowest she's been, locked up, framed twice over, her empire a distant dream. Vince looms outside, his massive frame blocking the light, his grin feral. "You're done," he growls, his scarred cheek twitching. Karen hovers behind, her bun unraveling, her green eyes glinting with sick joy. "Should have stayed in, coach," she hisses, her voice a needle. Aisha doesn't flinch, her gaze steady, a silent vow burning. She's been here before, underestimated, beaten down. She's risen every time. But this is a pit, a double frame-up, theft and a knife, a noose tightening. Her ownership's out there, a whisper online. But Vince and Karen don't buy, don't care. The terminal buzzes beyond the cell, passengers filming, their shouts muffled. "Free her!" "It's a setup!" Jamal's voice cuts through, raw and furious, but he's pinned by cops, his stream dead. Aisha's alone, her wrists raw, her suit a ruin. She thinks of the board meeting, her airline, her fight. It's slipping, all of it. Hey viewers, what's your take? Comment 1 if you think Vince is the real monster here. 2 if Karen's still pulling the strings. Would you trust a system this rotten to see the truth? Hit that like button if Aisha's grits got you hooked, and subscribe to see her claw out of this mess. She's down, but is she out? Back in the cell, Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her breath steadying. She's plotting, always plotting. Vince turns away, his boots thudding, Karen trailing him, their laughter a twisted duet. The bulb flickers, shadows dancing on the walls. She thinks it's over, thinks she'll fight from here. She's wrong. Vince's meaty hand brushes his radio, his voice low. This ain't enough. Karen nods, her smirk sharpening. The knife was a start, the theft a blow. But they're cooking something bigger, deadlier. The terminal hums. The crowd shouts a distant thunder. Aisha's ownership leaks wider online. A spark they can't snuff, but Vince and Karen don't see it, don't believe it. They're blind to the storm brewing, the one Aisha's about to unleash. Or are they? What happens when the ground fight turns into a war she can't predict? How deep does this trap go before she breaks free? The JFK terminal buzzes with chaos, the air thick with tension as Aisha Carter sits shackled in a dank holding cell, her gray suit shredded, coffee stains and blood crusting the fabric. Her wrists ache under the cuffs, her gold earrings glinting, faintly under the flickering bulb. Her hazel eyes trace the concrete cracks, her mind a steel trap despite the beating she's taken. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth leaking online, but right now she's a framed prisoner. The theft, a knife planted by Karen Voss and Vince Russo, a noose around her neck. Outside, the terminal's a war zone, passengers filming, their shouts echoing, "She's innocent." Check the footage. Jamal Pierce shoves through the crowd, his charcoal suit soaked with sweat, his broad shoulders squared, his dark eyes blazing. His phone smashed, the live stream dead, but he's not done. He's Aisha's lawyer, her brother in arms, and he's seen her rise from nothing. This won't bury her. He ducks past a cop, his voice a cannon blast. We're not letting this stand. The crowd stirs, 100 strong, their phones flashing, their anger swelling. A woman in a red coat waves a sign scribbled in marker. Justice for her. A man with a backpack nods, filming, his voice sharp. They framed her. The terminal doors burst open, more flood in. Workers, travelers, strangers, their chants shaking the glass. Free her now! Jamal takes the lead, his 6-foot frame a beacon, his hands cupping his mouth. Aisha Carter's no thief. They planted that knife. The crowd roars, a tide crashing, their phones live streaming anew, the count spiking past 500,000. Comments explode. She owns the airline. This is systemic. Take them down. Aisha hears the rumble, faint through the cell walls, her hazel eyes lifting. She thinks it's a lifeline, thinks the truth's breaking through. Outside, Vince looms near the gate, his 6'4" frame a wall of menace, his tan uniform clinging to his sweating bulk, his scarred cheek twitches, his grin faltering as the crowd swells. Karen hovers beside him, her blonde bun unraveling, her pale green eyes darting wildly. What's this? She hisses, her wiry frame trembling. Vince growls. They're just loud. Won't change a thing. But the noise grows. 1,000 voices now. Signs flashing. End the lies. Truth matters. The stream hits 1 million views. A national outcry swallowing the news cycle. Choppers circle overhead, their spotlights piercing the dusk, catching the protests swell. Inside the cell, Aisha shifts, her torn suit a badge, her breath steadying. She's been here before, cornered, but never like this, with a mob fighting, for her. The police hesitate, their black vests creaking, their guns holstered. A wiry cop clutches his radio, his voice tight. Crowd's out of control. What's the call? The lead officer, a stocky man with a shaved head, scans the screens. The protest, a pressure cooker. The knife, the theft. It's flimsy under this weight. A judge's voice crackles through, sharp and forced. Release her on bail. Insufficient proof. Do it now. The order lands like a hammer, the uproar bending the system. Vince's meaty fistball, his snarl a wounded beast's cry. No way! Karen's face flushes red, her green eyes slits. She's not walking. But the cell door groans open, a cop snapping off Aisha's cuffs, the metal clattering, to the floor. Her wrists are raw, red rings of pain, but she stands tall, her heels clicking on the concrete, her head high. She steps out, the crowd erupting, a thunderclap of triumph. She's free! We did it. Phones flash, filming her every move, a queen reclaiming her ground. Jamal rushes to her, his broad hand gripping hers, his voice a lifeline. "You're safe. We've got them on the ropes." Her hazel eyes meet his, a faint smile flickering, her voice low, steady. "We've got them now." She brushes her torn sleeve, her gold earrings swaying, her mind leaping ahead. She's planning to reveal her ownership, sue the airline, turn this nightmare into a reckoning. The crowd parts, their cheers a shield. A woman in a red coat shouting, "You showed them." A man with a backpack clapping, "About time." The air crackles, victory pulsing through the terminal. Aisha walks free, her sharp eyes sweeping the chaos, her bruises a map of survival. She thinks she's turned the tide, thinks the protest's her sword. She's wrong. Vince stumbles back, his scarred cheek twitching, his growl low. "This ain't over." Karen's wiry frame stiffens, her smirk gone, replaced by a snarl. They slip into a shadowed corner, their voices low, urgent. "She's not winning," Karen hisses, her green eyes burning holes into Aisha's back. Vince nods, his meaty hand brushing his radio, his voice cold. "Watch me bury her." Tommy Reed lurks nearby, his red polo a blotch in the crowd, his bleary eyes glinting. He's been watching, waiting, his grin slow and mean. Vince catches his gaze, a quick nod passing between them, a pact sealed in silence. Aisha doesn't see it, doesn't hear the whisper of their plan. She stands with Jamal, the crowd's chants a heartbeat. "Aisha, Aisha." Her torn suit's a crown, her hazel eyes locking onto the terminal's sprawl. She thinks she's safe, thinks the million eyes online are her armor. The police back off, their vests retreating, the air thick with triumph and dread. Jamal's broad shoulders stay close, his voice steady. "We'll sue. Expose them all." Aisha nods, her smile sharpening, a blade sliding into place. It's time. She's plotting her next move, her ownership a trump card she's ready to play. The choppers hum tighter, the protest a fortress she leans on. She's bruised, battered but unbroken, her mind a steel trap locking in every threat, every move. She thinks she's won this round, thinks Vince and Karen are scrambling. She doesn't see them in the shadows, their grins feral, their rage a furnace roaring back to life. Vince's thick fingers tap his radio, his voice a growl. She's out. Hit her harder. Karen's eyes light up, her smirk creeping back, a predator's grin. Their defeat's a wound they'll claw open wider, their counterstrike a beast waking. Aisha walks through the crowd, her heels clicking a victory drum, her breath steady despite the blood drying on her wrist. She thinks, the storm's past, thinks the public's her shield, she's wrong. Tommy shifts in the throng, his meaty hand slipping into his pocket, his grin widening. Vince and Karen retreat, their plan a shadow lengthening over her triumph. The terminal pulses, the crowds roar a distant hum, but the real fight's brewing. A plunge she can't see. Aisha's hazel eyes scan the sea of faces, her mind leaping to the boardroom, her airline, her justice. She thinks she's climbing out. The trap's just tightening. The JFK terminal vibrates with triumph. The protests roar a heartbeat as Aisha Carter steps free from the holding cell. Her gray suit shredded, coffee stains and blood crusting the fabric. Her wrists bear raw red marks, her gold earrings sway. With each steady step, her hazel eyes sharp despite the bruises. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth swelling online, and now she's reclaiming her ground. The crowd's chants a shield. "Aisha! Aisha!" Jamal Pierce stands beside her, his charcoal suit soaked with sweat, his broad shoulders unbowed, his dark eyes gleaming with grit. The million-view stream's a ghost, his phone smashed, but the protest's live feeds spike past 2 million, phones flashing like stars. A woman in a red coat shouts, "You're a hero!" A man with a backpack claps, "They messed up." Aisha brushes her torn sleeve, her voice low to Jamal. "We've got them on the ropes." Her smile's faint, a blade sharpening, her mind racing to reveal her ownership, sue the airline and crush this nightmare. The police retreat, their black vests fading into the crowd, choppers humming overhead, spotlights slicing the dusk. She thinks she's won, thinks the tide's hers. She's wrong. In a shadowed corner near the jetway, Vince Russo and Karen Voss huddle, their grins feral, their rage a furnace. Vince's 6'4" frame looms, his tan uniform clinging to his sweating bulk, his scarred cheek twitching. Karen's blonde bun's a sweaty mess, her wiry frame trembling, her pale green eyes burning holes into Aisha's back. "She's not getting away," Karen hisses, her voice a venomous whip. Vince's meaty hand pulls out a tablet, his thick fingers tapping fast, a bomb threat forging in seconds. Aisha Carter, row 15, explosive device detonation on landing. His scarred jaw twitches with glee as he hits send, the lie a digital dagger. Karen's eyes light up, her smirk creeping back, a predator's grin. "Do it now," she whispers, her chest swelling with spite. Their revenge roars free, a beast, clawing at Aisha's victory. The terminal shifts, a ripple of calm before the plunge. Aisha addresses the crowd, her heels clicking on the polished floor, her voice steady despite the blood drying on her wrist. "This isn't over till justice lands," she says, her hazel eyes sweeping the sea of faces. Jamal nods, his broad hand on her shoulder. "We'll sue. End this." The crowd cheers, a woman in a red coat waving her sign, a man with a backpack, filming, their faith a fortress. Aisha's mind leaps to the boardroom, her airline, her counterstrike. She doesn't see the trap snapping shut. Sirens scream through the terminal, red lights flashing, SWAT storming in, black helmets gleaming, rifles raised, boots pounding a dozen strong. "Freeze! Hands up!" Their leader barks, a burly officer with a shaved head, his voice a gunshot. Aisha's mid-stride, her hazel eyes widening, her breath catching as he charges her. "What the hell?" Jamal spins, his words drowned in chaos, but the officer tackles Aisha, slamming her to the ground. Her suit rips at the knee, her forehead smacks the concrete, blood trickling warm down her cheek. The cuffs snap on, tighter than before, the metal cutting fresh welts. The crowd gasps, recoiling, their cheers twisting to screams. "No! She's innocent!" Phones flash, capturing the brutality, but SWAT doesn't flinch. Their leader bellows, "Bomb threat suspect, Carter. Move her." The lie's a sledgehammer, Vince's forgery airtight in the system. Aisha struggles, her torn suit bunching, her heels scraping as they drag her up. "This is fake," she snaps, her voice cracking with fury, but the rifles stay locked, the crowd shoved back. Jamal lunges, his broad frame shoving forward. "Check. The proof." But a SWAT officer slams him against a pillar, his shoulder crunching, his face twisting in pain. "Stay down," the cop growls, cuffing him fast, his wrists snapping shut. Aisha's hazel eyes dart, her mind reeling, life in prison looming, a terrorist label she can't shake. Vince watches from the shadows, his meaty hand brushing Karen's shoulder, his grin wide. "Told you she's done," he mutters, his scarred cheek gleaming with sweat. Karen's smirk twists, her green eyes glinting with sick joy, her chest swelling as Aisha stumbles, blood streaming from her gash. "She threatened the flight. I saw it," Karen shouts, stepping forward, her voice a megaphone to the cameras now swarming. Vince nods, his tablet wiped clean, his lie seamless. "Found the alert myself," he adds, his growl a perfect echo. The press swallows it, choppers buzzing tighter, headlines flashing in real time. "Terrorist on board." "Carter's threat." The crowd splits, some shrinking back, others raging. "It's a setup. She's no bomber." The air thickens with panic, fury, a cauldron boiling over. Aisha's dragged to a holding cell, a steel box with bars and a flickering bulb, the door slamming shut, the clang shaking her bones. Her suit's a shroud, her knees bruised, her forehead throbbing, blood pooling on the floor. She slumps against the wall, her hazel eyes burning, her calm cracking, a scream trapped in her throat. She's alone, Jamal cuffed and gone, the protest a distant thunder. The 2 million eyes online flip, some raging, framed again, others sneering. She's guilty. The tide crashes against her, her freedom a ghost fading fast. Vince and Karen retreat, their grins feral, their victory a bitter wine they drink deep. "She's toast," Vince growls, his meaty fists balling. Karen's wiry frame shakes with glee, her pale face flushed. "Buried her good," she hisses, Her green eyes slits. They think Aisha's broken, her poise torched, the system a machine grinding her down. The terminal's a war zone, SWAT cordoning. The area, passengers fleeing, their shouts a cacophony. Aisha's sharp eyes trace the bars, her breath ragged, her mind clawing back. She's been here before, cornered. But this is a death trap, a bomb threat she didn't see coming. A noose, tightening with every tick. She thinks of her airline, her fight, her truth, all slipping through her fingers. The online storm's a distant hum. The protests' roar fading. Vince and Karen's gloating a spotlight they bask in. She's down, her allies silenced, her empire a dream drowning in lies. The cell's cold seeps into her bones, her torn suit a map of defeat, her gold earrings dull in the flickering light. She thinks it's the end, thinks she'll fight from this pit. She's wrong. Vince's meaty hand dials a number, his voice a whisper. She's not safe yet. Karen's smirk sharpens, her mind racing with a darker blow. Tommy Reed lurks. In the terminal, his red polo a stain in the crowd, his grin widening as he nods to Vince. Their plan's a shadow stretching longer, a beast they're not done feeding. Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her breath steadying despite the blood, her mind a steel trap locking in every move, every lie. She's plotting, always plotting, but the trap's deeper, the plunge steeper, and she's not ready for what's next. The JFK terminal's chaos fades into a sterile courtroom hum, the air thick with tension as Aisha Carter sits in the dock, her gray suit a torn shroud, coffee stains and blood crusting the fabric. Her wrists bear raw welts, her gold earrings, dulled by the harsh fluorescent light, her hazel eyes burning despite the bruises. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth drowned in Vince Russo's bomb threat lie. Now a convicted terrorist facing life. The SWAT arrest still throbs in her bones, her forehead scabbed, her knees aching from the concrete slam. The judge, a paunchy man with a slick comb-over and a sneer, looms behind his bench, his gavel a scepter of doom. His robes a cloak for corruption. His brother-in-law Vince's strings pulling tight. The jury's handpicked, their faces blank, their eyes glazed, a wall of bias she can't breach. Aisha's lawyer, a public defender in a wrinkled tie, fidgets beside her, his voice a tremble. "We need more time," he stammers, but the judge slams his gavel, his rasp cutting through. Denied. Her hazel eyes dart, her mind a steel. Trap, but the trap's shut. Outside the protests a distant roar. 2 million eyes online, a fading shield, their faith fracturing under headlines. Carter guilty! Bomb plot confirmed! She thinks it's over, thinks the system's won. She's wrong. Jamal Pierce sits in the gallery, his charcoal suit rumpled, his broad shoulders stiff, his dark eyes avoiding hers. He's been her rock, her lawyer, her brother since college. But now he's cuffed too, framed as her accomplice in the bomb threat. The SWAT takedown bruised him, his shoulder still sore, but he's free on bail, a last thread of hope. Aisha's gaze softens, trusting him to flip this. The courtroom buzzes, reporters scribbling, cameras rolling, the trial a circus rushed to bury her. Karen Voss takes the stand, her wiry frame stiff, her blonde bun a sweaty mess, her pale green eyes glinting with fake tears. She threatened me with a gun mid-flight, she lies, her voice a thunderclap, her hands ringing in mock fear. The jury nods, the judge smirks, the lie a sledgehammer. Aisha's jaw tightens, her voice sharp. That's a lie. Check the records. The judge slams his gavel again. Quiet, defendant. The defender stammers. No gun was found. But the jury doesn't flinch, their minds made up. Vince looms in the back row, his 6'4" frame swapped for a cheap suit, his scarred, cheek twitching with a grin. His meaty hands scribble notes, fake logs claiming Aisha made threats, his crew outside silencing witnesses, one dazed in an alley, another fled town, their silence bought or beaten. The conspiracy tightens, a noose she can't slip. The evidence, passenger footage, the stream, vanishes, deleted in transit, the system a machine grinding her down. Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her torn suit a badge of survival, but her calm cracks a scream trapped in her throat. She thinks Jamal's her lifeline, thinks he'll expose this. Then he stands, his broad frame stiff, his voice booming, a jolt that freezes the room. "I need to clarify something." Aisha's smile flickers, her hazel eyes narrowing, the crowd hushing, confusion spreading. His thick fingers brush his suit, his dark eyes cold, and his lie hits like a blade. "Aisha paid me to fake that evidence. The knife, the stream, all of it." The courtroom erupts, gasps twisting to boos, reporters scrambling, cameras flashing. Aisha's breath catches, her sharp eyes widening, her voice a whisper. "Jamal, what are you doing?" Her mind reels, her pillar crumbling, his words a knife she didn't see coming. The judge leans forward, his sneer widening, the jury murmuring, their bias sealed. Vince cackles from the back, his meaty hand slapping Karen's shoulder, his grin feral. "Told you she's toast," he growls, his scarred cheek gleaming. Karen's wiry frame shakes with glee, her pale face flushed, her green eyes slits. "Got her," she hisses, her smirk a mask of triumph. Jamal turns his back, his broad shoulders rigid, his voice low. "I had to." $1 million bribe, wired from Vince's crew. A betrayal she never saw, proof planted in fake texts on his phone. Aisha's orders. The press swallows it, headlines screaming, "Hayes paid for hoax. Fraud exposed." The 2 million eyes online flip, some raging, "Framed again." Others sneering, "She's done." The tide crashes, her freedom a ghost fading fast. Aisha's sharp eyes lock onto Jamal, stunned, broken, her voice cracking. "Why?" He doesn't answer, his dark eyes avoiding hers, his lie poison seeping, deep. The judge slams his gavel, his rasp final. "Guilty. Life without parole." The cuffs snap back on, her suit tearing further, her heels scraping as bailiffs drag her away, her gold earrings swaying with each jolt. The cell door slams, a clang shaking her bones, a sterile box with bars and a flickering bulb. She stumbles, her torn suit a shroud, her hazel eyes burning with betrayal, her breath ragged. She's alone, her allies gone, a lifetime behind bars, looming, her fight a flicker they've nearly snuffed. Vince and Karen retreat, their grins feral, their victory a bitter wine they drink deep, thinking Aisha's buried, her poise torched. The system's a machine grinding her down, blind to her sharp eyes tracing the bars, her mind clawing back. Hey viewers, what's your gut say? Comment 1 if Jamal's betrayal cuts you deepest, 2 if Vince and Karen's corruption makes your blood boil. Would you have seen that twist coming or trusted him like Aisha did? Hit that like button if this injustice has you reeling, and subscribe to see if she breaks free from this pit. She's down, but is she out? Back in the cell, Aisha slumps against the wall, her hazel eyes dulled by exhaustion, her breath shallow, Jamal's words a noose tightening. Vince's grin, Karen's laugh, the judge's gavel. They echo in her skull, her calm shattered, a scream trapped inside. She's plotting, always plotting. But this is a plunge into darkness, a betrayal she can't unsee. The online storm's a distant thunder. The protests roar a ghost, her empire a dream drowning in lies. She thinks it's the end, thinks she's lost everything. She's wrong. Vince's meaty hand brushes his cheap suit, his growl low. She's not safe yet. Karen's smirk sharpens, her mind racing with a deadlier blow. Tommy Reed's out there, his red polo a stain in the shadows, his grin a promise of more. Their plan's a beast waking, a shadow stretching longer. Aisha's hazel eyes flicker, her mind a steel trap locking in every move, every lie. What happens? When the bottom drops lower? How does she climb out of a grave dug by her own blood? The sterile prison cell in upstate New York hums with silence, the air cold and heavy as Aisha Carter sits on a rusted cot, her gray suit a tattered ruin, coffee stains and blood long crusted into the fabric. Her wrists bear raw scars, her gold, earrings dulled by the flickering bulb above, her hazel eyes tracing the barred window where the night sky stretches black. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth buried under Jamal Pierce's betrayal, Vince Russo's bomb threat, and Karen Voss's lies, now a convicted terrorist serving life. Her forehead scabbed, her knees bruised, her breath shallow after the courtroom's crushing verdict. The judge's gavel, Jamal's cold words, the jury's blank stares. They echo in her skull, a noose she can't slip. The protests roar, once 2 million strong as a ghost. The online storm muted behind these walls, her empire a dream drowning in darkness. She thinks it's over, thinks she's lost everything. She's wrong. Footsteps echo down the hall, a steady tap against the concrete, and the cell door creaks open. Lena Ortiz steps in, a prison guard in her late 30s, her tan uniform crisp, her black hair pulled into a neat braid, her brown eyes soft but sharp. She's 5'6", wiry but strong, her badge glinting faintly. Aisha's hazel eyes lift, suspicion tightening her chest, but Lena's voice is low, steady. "I know who you are, Ms. Carter." Aisha freezes, her torn suit rustling as she shifts, her mind racing. "What do you want?" she asks, her tone steel despite the Lena kneels, her brown eyes locking onto Aisha's. "I worked for your airline 3 years back. Ground crew Miami. You caught my supervisor skimming fuel, fired him, saved my job. I owe you." Aisha's breath catches, a spark flickering in her haze. She remembers Lena, a quiet worker with grit. But this is a lifeline she didn't see coming. "They've buried me," she mutters, her hazel eyes narrowing. Lena nods, her braid swaying. "Not yet. I've got proof." She pulls a folded paper from her pocket, a grainy printout of a security log, Vince's tablet signature. On the bomb threat, time-stamped before the flight landed, a crack in his lie. Aisha's fingers tremble as she takes it, her sharp eyes scanning the ink, her mind a steel trap snapping shut. "How'd you get this?" she asks, her voice low, urgent. Lena's lips curve faintly. "Friends in security. Owed me one." She slips a burner phone into Aisha's hand, the plastic warm from her pocket. "Use it. Get it out." Aisha's hazel eyes blaze, her breath steadying, a plan igniting. She's been here before, cornered. But Lena's a wild card, a hidden ally flipping the board. She dials fast, her burgundy nails tapping, a text to a reporter she trusts. Proof of frame-up, airline owner, leak it. She hits send, the message, a spark in the dark. Lena stands, her brown eyes steady. "I'll smuggle more. Hang on." The door clanks shut behind her, the echo sharp, but Aisha's not alone anymore. Outside, the world shifts, the burner's text landing like a bomb. The reporter, a wiry woman with a buzz cut, runs it, a news stream exploding online, the view count soaring past 5 million in hours. "Aisha Carter innocent. Owner framed." The protest reignites, thousands flooding JFK's gates, their chants shaking the concrete. "Free Aisha. End the lies." Signs flash. "Justice now. Expose the truth." Choppers circle tighter, spotlights catching the swell, the online storm hitting 10 million. A tidal wave drowning the headlines. Aisha hears the faint rumble through the bars, her hazel eyes lifting, her torn suit a badge of survival. She thinks it's her shot, thinks the proof's her sword. The prison buzzes, guards murmuring, their radios crackling, the uproar bending the system again. A federal judge, a stern woman with gray hair, reopens the case, her voice sharp over the wire. "New evidence. Release her pending review." The cell door groans open, a guard snapping off Aisha's cuffs, the metal clattering, her wrists, free but scarred. She stands, her heels clicking on the concrete, her head high despite the limp, her gold earrings swaying with each step. She walks out, the prison gates parting, the crowd erupting, a thunderclap of triumph. "She's back! We knew it!" Phones flash, filming her every move, a queen bruised but unbroken. The streams at 12 million, comments roaring. "She's the boss." They're done. Aisha's hazel eyes sweep the chaos, her breath steadying, her smile faint but real. She thinks she's won, thinks Vince and Karen are scrambling, her ownership a trump card breaking free. She's wrong. In a dim New York alley, Vince paces, his 6'4" frame hulking in a cheap suit, his scarred cheek twitching, his meaty fists balled. Karen hovers, her blonde bun a sweaty wreck, her wiry frame trembling, her pale green eyes slits. She's out, Vince growls, his voice a gravel pit. Not for long. Karen's smirk sharpens, her mind racing. We'll bury her deeper. They saw the stream, the proof, the protest, and it's a slap they won't take. Tommy Reed leans against a wall, his red polo stained, his grin slow and mean, his meaty hand flexing. What's the play, he mutters, his bleary eyes glinting. Vince's thick fingers dial a number, his growl low. She's free. Hit her hard. Karen nods, her green eyes lighting up, a predator's gleam. Their plan's a beast waking, a shadow stretching over Aisha's triumph. Back at the gates, Aisha stands tall, her torn suit a crown, her hazel eyes locking onto the crowd, her mind leaping to her airline, her justice. The protest's a fortress, thousands strong, their chants a heartbeat. Aisha! Aisha! She brushes her sleeve, her gold earrings catching the light, her breath steady despite the blood drying on her cheek. She thinks she's safe. Thinks the 10 million eyes are her armor. She doesn't see Vince's call, Karen's smirk, Tommy's nod. The choppers hum, the crowd's roar a shield she leans on, her sharp eyes tracing the sea of faces. She's plotting her next move, her ownership, a blade she'll wield. The prison fades behind her, the air thick with victory and dread, her mind a steel trap locking in every threat, every move. She thinks she's climbing out, thinks the worst is past. She's wrong. Vince's meaty hand grips his phone, his voice a hiss. She's not safe yet. Karen's wiry frame stiffens, her smirk a blade sharpening, their counterstrike a furnace roaring back. Tommy steps forward, his grin widening, a promise of chaos. Aisha's hazel eyes flicker, her breath steadying, her mind racing with plans. The stream's a lifeline, the protest a wall, but the trap's tightening, a plunge she can't see. Her triumph's a thread, and they're about to snap it. The upstate New York prison gates stand open, the night air sharp as Aisha Carter steps free, her gray suit a shredded testament, coffee stains and blood crusted into the fabric. Her wrists bear raw scars, her gold earrings glint faintly under. The floodlights, her hazel eyes sharp despite the limp in her stride. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth roaring online at 12 million views, and now she's reclaiming her ground. The protests chants a heartbeat. Aisha! Aisha! Lena Ortiz walks beside her, her tan uniform crisp, her black braids steady, her brown eyes scanning the crowd. The proof she smuggled, Vince Russo's forged bomb threat, ignited this release, a federal judge bending under the public's swell. Thousands line the gates, their phones flashing, their signs waving. Justice now! She's the boss! A woman in a denim jacket shouts, You're unbreakable! A man with a beard claps, They're done! Aisha brushes her torn sleeve, her voice low to Lena. We've got them now. Her smile's faint, a blade sharpening, her mind racing to her airline, her counterstrike. She thinks she's won, thinks the storm's passed. She's wrong. Across the prison yard, a rooftop looms, a shadow flickering against the night sky. A sniper hired by Vince crouches low, his black hoodie blending with the dark, his rifle, scope glinting as he tracks Aisha's every step. His finger hovers over the trigger, his breath steady. A contract sealed with Vince's cash. The crowd's roar masks his silence, the chopper's hum drowning any hint. Aisha limps forward, her heels clicking on the asphalt, her hazel eyes sweeping the sea of faces, her gold earrings swaying with each move. Lena's hand brushes her arm, her voice steady. Stay close, we're not clear yet. Aisha nods, her sharp eyes flicking to the gates, her mind on the boardroom, her justice. The shot rings out, a crack splitting the night, the bullet tearing through her shoulder. Blood blooms, a hot burst soaking her torn suit, and she collapses, her knees slamming the ground, her breath a gasp. The crowd screams, a wave of panic crashing. She's hit! Get down! Phones drop, filming the chaos, the stream spiking past 15 million. Lena dives, her tan uniform ripping as she shields Aisha, her braid whipping as she scans. The roof. Stay with me, she yells, her brown eyes wide, her hands pressing the wound, blood slicking her fingers. Aisha's hazel eyes flutter, pain searing, her mind reeling, but she doesn't scream, her jaw tight. The sniper reloads, his scope shifting, but the crowd surges, a human wall blocking his line. Police swarm, their black vests gleaming, guns drawn, radios crackling. "Shoot her on the roof!" A wiry cop barks, his voice sharp, but the sniper's gone, a shadow melting into the night. Aisha's blood pools, her torn suit a shroud, her gold earrings catching the floodlights as Lena drags her behind a car. "Hold on," Lena mutters, her breath ragged, her hands trembling but firm. The crowd's a cauldron, some fleeing, others filming, their shouts a cacophony. "Save her! It's them again!" Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her breath shallow, her mind clawing back. She's been here before, cornered. But this is a kill shot, a plunge she didn't see. In a New York alley, Vince paces, his 6'4" frame, hulking, his cheap suit soaked with sweat, his scarred cheek twitching with glee. Karen hovers, her blonde bun a wreck, her wiry frame buzzing, her pale green eyes glinting. "She's down," Vince growls, his meaty hand gripping his phone, the sniper's text flashing. "Hit confirmed." Karen's smirk twists, her voice a hiss. "Perfect." Tommy Reed leans against a wall, his red polo stained, his grin wide, his meaty hand flexing. "Dead yet?" he mutters, his bleary eyes shining. Vince shakes his head, his growl low. "Not yet. We'll make sure." They think Aisha's finished, her triumph torched. Back at the gates, police shove the crowd, their boots stomping, their voices barking. "Clear the area!" Lena's hands press harder, blood seeping through her fingers, Aisha's breath a rasp. "I'm okay," she lies, her hazel eyes flickering, her mind a steel trap locking in the pain, the threat. Ambulances wail, sirens, cutting the night, medics rushing in, their white coats stark against the chaos. They lift Aisha, her torn suit dangling, her gold earrings swaying as they strap her to a stretcher, her blood smearing the white sheet. Lena follows, her tan uniform stained, her brown eyes fierce. "You're not dying on me," she snaps, her voice a vow. The crowd parts, their phones flashing, the stream hitting 18 million, comments roaring, "She's a fighter." They tried to kill her. Aisha's rushed to a hospital, the ambulance jolting, her hazel eyes half open, her breath ragged. She's clinging to life, her shoulder afire, her mind racing with Vince's grin, Karen's smirk, the sniper's scope. She thinks it's the end, thinks her victory's ash. She's wrong. Vince's plan backfires, the shot a flare in the night, the online storm swelling, the protests' rage doubling. Police raid the roof, finding a shell casing, a thread to Vince they can't yet tie. Aisha's stretcher rolls into the ER, medics shouting, "Gunshot left shoulder." Her torn suit cut away, her gold earrings glinting as they wheel her in. Lena paces outside, her tan uniform a mess, her brown eyes tracing the doors, her mind on the proof, the fight. Aisha's hazel eyes flicker, her breath steadying under the lights, her mind a steel trap despite the blood loss. She's plotting, always plotting, her ownership a blade she'll wield if she survives. The hospital buzzes, doctors stitching, machines beeping, her shoulder a battlefield they're fighting to save. She thinks of her airline, her justice, her life slipping. The online storm's a distant hum, the protests roar a lifeline she can't hear. Vince and Karen gloat in their alley, their grins feral, their victory a wine they drink deep. She's gone. Vince growls, his scarred cheek gleaming. Karen's wiry frame shakes with glee, her green eyes slits. No coming back. Tommy nods, his red polo a stain, his grin a promise of more. They think she's buried, her poise a memory they've torched. Police swarm the hospital, their black vests a wall, rearresting her mid-surgery, cuffs snapping on her good wrist, her torn suit a shroud on the gurney. Attempted gang hit. Vince's lie crackles over their radios, his voice a megaphone, through planted leaks. Karen steps forward, her smirk loud to the press outside. She's a terrorist, always was. Aisha's hazel eyes open, pain searing, her mind reeling, her freedom stolen again. The stream hits 20 million, the crowd's rage a thunder they can't silence, but she's shackled, her shoulder bleeding through bandages, her gold earrings dull under the ER lights. She thinks it's over, thinks she's lost the war. She's wrong. Vince's meaty hand dials again, his growl low. She's still breathing. Finish it. Karen's smirk sharpens, their plan a beast waking, a shadow stretching longer. Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her breath a rasp, her mind locking in every move, every lie. The hospital's a cage, the police a noose, but she's not done. The hospital room in upstate New York hums with tension, the air sterile and cold as Aisha Carter lies on a gurney, her gray suit cut away, coffee stains and blood replaced by a thin gown clinging to her bruised frame. Her left shoulder's bandaged, a bullet wound stitched but seeping, her wrists raw from cuffs snapped on mid-surgery. Her gold earrings glint faintly under the harsh lights, her hazel eyes half open, pain a dull roar she's fighting through. She's the airline's secret owner, a truth teetering on the edge, her life hanging by a thread after Vince Russo's sniper attack. Police guard the door, their black vests a wall, their radios crackling with Vince's lie. Gang hit planned by Carter. Her breath's a rasp, her mind a steel trap despite the blood loss, the betrayal, the noose tightening. Lena Ortiz paces outside, her tan uniform stained with Aisha's blood, her black braid frayed, her brown eyes fierce. She's smuggled proof, before, and now she's Aisha's last line, her hidden ally in this war. Aisha's hazel eyes flicker to the IV drip, her good hand flexing, her voice a whisper. Lena now. Lena nods, slipping a burner phone from her pocket, the plastic scratched but warm, and hands it over, her fingers brushing Aisha's. Make it count, she mutters, her voice steady, her tan uniform rustling as she steps back. Aisha's burgundy nails tap fast, her mind racing despite the fog, recording a video, her breath ragged, but her words sharp. I'm Aisha Carter, owner of this airline. Vince Russo framed me, shot me. Karen Voss started it. Here's the proof. She pans to the security log Lena smuggled, Vince's tablet signature on the bomb threat, time-stamped, undeniable. Her hazel eyes burn, her torn gown a badge, her voice a blade cutting through the lies. They tried to kill me. They won't win. She hits send, the video uploading to Lena's contact, a reporter with a buzz cut who's been chasing this story. Lena slips out, her braid swinging, her brown eyes scanning the hall, uploading it from a burner laptop in a supply closet, the stream igniting online, the view count spiking past 20 million in minutes. Carter speaks. Truth drops. The hospital buzzes, nurses whispering, police shifting, their radios crackling with static. Aisha slumps back, her hazel eyes closing, her breath shallow, her shoulder throbbing. But her mind's alive, plotting, always plotting. Outside, the world erupts, the video a flare in the night, the online storm swallowing the news cycle. Protests swell, thousands storming JFK's gates, their chants shaking the concrete. Aisha's free. End the corruption. Signs flash. She owns it. Justice now. Choppers circle tighter, spotlights catching the crowd, the stream hitting 25 million comments roaring. They're exposed. She's a legend. Feds move fast, their suits crisp, their badges glinting, raiding Vince's grimy apartment in New York. He's caught mid-pace, his 6'4" frame hulking, his cheap suit soaked, his scarred cheek twitching as they cuff him, his meaty fists flailing. You've got nothing, he growls, but they've got the sniper's payment, a wire transfer from his account, a thread unraveling his lies. Karen's nabbed mid-flight on another plane, her wiry frame thrashing, her blonde bun a wreck. Her, pale green eyes wide as cops drag her off, her navy uniform tearing at the seams. I didn't do it, she shrieks, but the video's a noose, her smirk torched on every screen. The hospital room's door bursts open, police uncuffing Aisha, their black vests retreating, their voices clipped. Federal order. You're clear. Her hazel eyes open, her breath steadying, her good hand brushing the gown, her gold earrings catching the light. She sits up, weak but unbroken, her shoulder a dull ache. her mind leaping to her airline, her justice. The crowd's roar filters through the window, a thunder she feels in her bones, their phones flashing her every word. She thinks she's won, thinks Vince and Karen are dust, her ownership a blade cutting free. She's wrong. In a New York precinct, Vince sits cuffed, his scarred cheek gleaming, his growl low. This ain't over. Karen's in a cell nearby, her wiry frame slumped, her green eyes slits, her mind racing with a final twist. Tommy Reed's out there, his red polo a stain in the shadows, his grin a promise of chaos, his meaty hand flexing. They're down, not out, their rage a furnace smoldering. Aisha rises from the gurney, her gown slipping, her heels lost, her bare feet cold on the tile. Lena helps her stand, her tan uniform a shield, her brown eyes steady. You did it, she mutters, her voice a vow. Aisha's hazel eyes sweep the room, her breath steady despite the pain, her mind a steel trap locking in every move, every threat. The feds swarm the airline HQ, their suits a wall, their voices sharp, seizing records, exposing corruption, Vince's crew crumbling, Karen's lies peeling away. Protesters storm the gates, their chants a heartbeat. Aisha, Aisha. Their phones live, the stream a lifeline at 28 million, the world watching her rise. She limps to the window, her torn gown a crown, her gold earrings glinting, her hazel eyes tracing the crowd, the city sprawl beyond a battlefield she's reclaiming. She thinks it's the end, thinks the war's hers. She's wrong. Vince's meaty hand twitches in cuffs, his growl a whisper to a guard he's bribed. She's not safe yet. Karen's smirk flickers, her mind a shadow plotting, a thread. They're not done pulling. Tommy slips through the crowd, his red polo fading into the dusk, his grin widening, a beast they've fed too long. Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her breath steadying, her mind racing with plans, her airline a throne she'll take. The hospital's a cage she's breaking, the crowd's roar a shield she leans on, her shoulder a fire she's pushing through. She's weak, battered but unbroken, her ownership a trump card she's played, her justice a storm she's unleashing. The feds haul Vince and Karen away, their grins fading, their victory ash, but their rage smolders, a spark she can't see. She thinks she's climbing out, thinks the worst is dust, the trap's still tightening, a plunge she's not ready for, a twist she can't predict. The upstate New York hospital fades into the sleek glass tower of the airline's New York headquarters, the air crisp with victory as Aisha Carter stands at a podium, her gray suit replaced by a sharp black blazer, pristine but bearing the faint scars of her fight. Her left shoulder's bandaged beneath, a bullet wound healing, her wrists still raw, her gold earrings gleaming under the boardroom lights. Her hazel eyes burn with steel, her voice steady as she addresses the room. A sea of suits and cameras, the stream hitting 30 million views. She's the airline's owner, a truth now blazing worldwide. Her video from the hospital bed a flare that torched Vince Russo and Karen Voss's lies. This company's mine, she declares, her words a blade cutting through the silence. And I'm cleaning house. The board nods, their ties crisp, their faces pale, her ownership a trump card she's played to perfection. She fires every corrupt employee, her voice a hammer. Vince Russo, Karen Voss, their cronies, out. She launches a justice initiative at JFK, her sharp eyes sweeping the room, her mind a steel trap locking in every move. Terminal 3's a justice hub now. Legal clinics, live accountability, no more profiling. The press erupts, headlines flashing. Carter rebuilds. Justice takes flight. She thinks it's over, thinks she's won the war. She's wrong. Vince sits in a federal cell, his 6'4" frame hunched, his cheap suit swapped for orange, his scarred cheek twitching with rage. Karen's in a cell down the hall, her wiry frame slumped, her blonde bun gone, her pale green eyes slits of venom. They face life sentences, their bomb threat, sniper hit, and lies a noose they can't slip. The feds raid sealing their fate. Tommy Reed's nabbed too, his red polo a stain in custody, his grin snuffed, his meaty hands cuffed. Their gloating's ash, their victory torched, but their rage smolders. A spark they've fed too long. Aisha's hazel eyes trace the skyline beyond the glass, her breath steady despite the ache, her blazer a crown she's earned. The protest's roar echoes outside, thousands chanting, "Aisha! Aisha!" Their phones live, the stream a lifeline, at 35 million, the world watching her rise. She's reclaimed her empire, her justice a storm she's unleashed, her shoulder a dull fire she's pushed through. She thinks she's safe, thinks the worst is dust. Then Lena Ortiz steps forward, her tan uniform crisp, her black braid steady, her brown eyes soft but sharp. She's been Aisha's rock, her hidden ally, smuggling proof, shielding her from the sniper's bullet. "I need to tell you something," Lena says, her voice low, her tan uniform rustling as she shifts. Aisha's hazel eyes narrow, a flicker of trust holding steady. "What is it?" she asks, her tone calm, her mind racing. Lena's brown eyes drop, her breath a sigh, and her confession hits like a bomb. "I'm Karen's sister. They planted me to sabotage you later." The room freezes, the board gasping, cameras whirring, the stream spiking. Aisha's hazel eyes widening, her breath catching. Her mind reels, Lena's loyalty a mirage, a knife she didn't see. "Why tell me now?" she snaps, her voice cracking, her blazer stiff as she steps back. Lena's brown eyes lift, her tan uniform a shield cracking. "I couldn't do it. You saved me once. I owed you the truth." Aisha's hazel eyes burn, her mind a steel trap snapping shut, the betrayal a thread she's woven through. She saw it, suspected it, fed Lena false plans in the hospital, a test she'd passed until now. "You're out," Aisha says, her voice ice, her sharp eyes locking onto Lena's. "Leave." Lena nods, her braids swaying, her brown eyes dulling, her tan uniform a ghost as she turns, the door clicking shut behind her. The board murmurs, the cameras flash, the stream roars. Double cross. She knew. Aisha's hazel eyes sweep the room, her breath steadying, her blazer a fortress, her gold earrings glinting with each move. She's banished Lena, her foresight a blade she's wielded, her trust a trap she's flipped. The airline thrives under her iron will, her justice initiative a beacon. Terminal 3 a hub of change, legal clinics humming, accountability live for all to see. The press doubles down, headlines screaming, "Carter's genius, empire." Reborn. She's more than a survivor, she's a revolution. Her hazel eyes ruling the skies. Her shoulder a scar she wears proud. Vince and Karen rot in their cells. Their life sentence is a cage they can't break. Their rage a smolder snuffed by her triumph. Tommy's locked away, his red polo a memory, his grin a shadow she's erased. The protests a distant hum. The crowd's roar a heartbeat she's harnessed. Her blazer a throne she's claimed. She thinks it's the end, thinks she's climbed the mountain. She's right. The boardroom buzzes, suits clapping, cameras rolling, the stream hitting 40 million, the world watching her reign. Her hazel eyes trace the glass, the New York, sprawl a battlefield she's conquered, her breath steady despite the scars, her mind a steel trap locking in every victory, every lesson. She's weak no more, her empire a fortress, her justice a storm that swept the skies clean. The feds clear the last of Vince's crew, their suits a wall dismantling corruption, Karen's lies a ruin they've torched. Aisha stands tall, her gold earrings swaying, her blazer crisp, her hazel eyes sharp as ever. She's reclaimed it all, her airline a phoenix, her fight a legend etched in the clouds, the terminal's a beacon, her initiative a shield for every traveler, her ownership a blade she's sharpened to perfection. She's not just free, she's unstoppable, her hazel eyes a promise of more, her breath a vow to never fall again. The world watches, the stream a mirror reflecting her rise, her blazer a symbol of power she's forged from ash. She's Aisha Carter, owner, warrior, queen, her empire reclaimed, her justice a fire that won't fade. Aisha Carter's journey in this gripping tale reveals profound lessons about resilience, systemic racism, and the power of truth. First, her unwavering strength teaches us that adversity doesn't define you, your response does. Despite being humiliated, framed, shot, and betrayed, Aisha never broke. She turned every blow into a stepping stone, proving that grit can outlast oppression. This is a call to stand tall when the world pushes you down, to fight with intellect and heart, no matter the odds. Second, the story exposes the ugly layers of systemic racism, from Karen's initial shove to Vince's lethal schemes. It's a stark reminder that prejudice isn't just personal, it's woven into institutions, ready to crush those who don't fit. Aisha's battle shows how deep these roots run and how hard we must work to uproot them. Third, truth is a weapon, but it needs allies. Lena's hidden loyalty and the public's roar turned Aisha's whispered video into a global storm, toppling her enemies. It's a lesson in community. Alone, you're a target. Together, you're a force. Finally, trust is a gamble. Jamal's betrayal and Lena's twist cut deep, but Aisha's foresight saved her. It's a bittersweet truth. Lean on others, but always guard your back. This story isn't just Aisha's. It's ours, a mirror to our world's flaws, and a map to rise above them. So, what would you do in her shoes? Comment below if you'd fight like Aisha. Hit like if her victory fires you up. Subscribe for more tales of unbreakable spirits, and share to spread this lesson far. Thanks for joining this wild ride. Here's to staying fierce, standing united, and never letting the system win.